When we're trying to put together a large-scale project like this, the key part of the stage is identifying the particular stakeholders within the community and within government and that are going to be involved and going to be impacted by the wind farm. We will then take that information and then modify our design. With that, we can then look to understand how the wind farm will sit within the landscape and whether we need to modify any of the turbine heights or modify any of the turbine locations to minimise that the impact that it might have visually on the landscape. And we will then be able to then take that design, to run that through an environmental impact assessment and really critically understand exactly what the final impacts of this design are, so that we can then go to the planning authorities and say, we believe this is a good wind farm, we believe this is the right wind farm to build, these are the impacts of this wind farm, and this is what we're going to do to make sure those impacts are managed. Once we have a planning consent, we need to take that design and go to site and do some detailed site investigation to really understand if there is any unusual things under the landscape that we didn't know about. Once we've got that, then we will then start speaking to turbine manufacturers, we will start speaking to contractors who can then go and build the site, and what do they need to be able to build the site. With the turbines that we're looking to install on our current sites, they are able to generate more than 3 times the amount of electricity that a turbine 10 years ago was able to make, but they're certainly not 3 times bigger. They're possibly maybe 50% larger, but they are significantly more efficient. They're able to capture significantly more wind, and therefore in a smaller area we're able to put fewer turbines but generate the same amount of electricity. When putting the design together for the Lethens Extension project, one of the key considerations was how it sits within the landscape. This is a big open landscape with rolling hills and ridge lines, and this is well adapted to be able to fit wind farms of this scale and them not to take as much of a visual impact as they may do in some other landscapes. So some of the most interesting things about the Lethens Extension project come down to the detail of the site itself. It's a site that incorporates deep areas of deep peat, it incorporates rivers, it incorporates some rolling bits of hills, and we've been able to locate the turbines and the site access tracks within that landscape in such a way that they will support the landscape, and they will work with the landscape. Secondly, there's forestry across the site, and we've been able to build that design in to manage within that commercial forestry, and we'll develop an HMP, develop a habitat management plan with the landowners and within that commercial forestry to be able to create and improve the habitat of that landscape in the long term.